Today I wanted to talk about something I find to be highly important: film criticism. It's something I've always kept up on over the years, whether I'm reading or watching somebody else's review or making a review of my own. After I became very interested in film criticism at 12 years old, I made a habit of always checking both the audience and critic scores on Rotten Tomatoes and reading reviews from both sections. But with the recent revelations regarding Amazon's The Rings of Power, I've come to one conclusion: traditional film criticism is dead. In case you don't know what revelations I'm referring to, it has come to light recently that Amazon has been buying fake positive reviews in order to make the show look good. But first, let's answer this question. What is the point of film criticism? The answer to that question comes in two separate but equal parts. First of all, film criticism came about back in the old days so that one person, usually a newspaper journalist, could write an honest review that included his thoughts and observations, and then the general public could read his review and decide whether or not the movie is worth their time and money. Secondly, film criticism serves as a metaphorical compass for Hollywood, guiding them on what types of films they should keep making and which ones they should quit making. So why do I say that traditional film criticism is dead? Because film criticism ceases to be film criticism when these reviewers can be bought by studios. Just like in the recent case with The Rings of Power. These so-called critics are essentially getting paid for good reviews. These reviewers are invited to early press screenings, exclusive interviews, and other special events, and in addition are paid generously for their fake positive reviews that they write which praise the movie or TV show. But where did this trend begin? Because it certainly did not start with The Rings of Power. I believe it started with this movie, which revolves around Disney's Golden Child. And when audiences began giving the film low ratings, because it's a genuinely terrible movie, Disney took to social media to call everyone who didn't like it a bunch of misogynists. I believe Disney also bought positive reviews for the recent dumpster fire, which is She-Hulk, as there is no way that show would legitimately get an 87% fresh rating. And when many viewers gave the show the abysmal ratings which it deserved, Disney once again decided to call everyone a bunch of misogynists. Many individuals also voiced negative opinions about the new Disney Plus show Obi-Wan Kenobi due to its incredibly lackluster writing, especially when it comes to the character of Reva. So how did Disney decide to respond to this criticism? They decided to call anyone who didn't like it a racist. So when The Rings of Power finally released, and many viewers, including myself, voiced heavy negative criticism for the show's mediocre writing, cringe acting, and complete perversion of the world established by Tolkien, what did Amazon do? You guessed it, they took to Disney's negative press playbook and called all the negative reviewers a bunch of racist misogynists. And as I said at the beginning of this video, Amazon was caught red-handed just a few days ago with their hands in the cookie jar for buying fake positive reviews for this show. Riddle me this, Amazon. If everyone who hates Rings of Power is a racist misogynist, why do they all love House of the Dragon? So what does this boil down to? The fact of the matter is that these studios want to control your opinions on the content they produce. They don't want you to think for yourselves, and they've done nothing but prove this as they've gone to lengths such as buying fake positive reviews from these so-called critics who have turned out to be nothing but sellout journalists for the mainstream media. Not only have they bought fake positive reviews trying to control your opinion, but studios have also tried to silence your opinion in a couple of other ways. First, they love deleting dislikes from their videos on YouTube after they have been ratioed into oblivion. As you can see on this Rings of Power trailer, there are 1.9 million dislikes. But guess what? Amazon removed about 1.2 million dislikes, meaning this trailer has upwards of 3.3 million dislikes. The second tactic these big-name Hollywood studios use to silence your opinion is by deleting your negative reviews. Ever wonder why Rings of Power is sitting at a 6.9 star rating on IMDb instead of a 1.5? Because Amazon, the company that owns IMDb, has decided to delete any reviews that are lower than 5 stars. And when the studios can't silence your opinion, they will try to make you look like a bad person by labeling you a sexist, a racist, a misogynist, a homophobe, and every other ist, ism, and phobic in the English language. And it's not as if this recent trend in film criticism is going away anytime soon. In fact, this is just the beginning. A film starring Viola Davis titled The Woman King was released over this past weekend, a film which the so-called critics loved and moviegoers have voiced many negative opinions of. I'm sure that by now you can guess how the filmmakers responded to the criticism, but I'll tell you anyways. Taking notes from Disney's negative press playbook, Viola Davis came out and said that if you don't watch The Woman King, that you're a racist. How very predictable. Before I go, I want to leave you with 3 messages. First, a message to the studios. Studios, you should all be ashamed of what you have done to the modern film criticism landscape. Instead of trying to control the opinions of people who don't like your crap content, maybe you should try to actually make a movie or TV show of good quality that has some artistic value. Secondly, a message to these so-called critics. You should be ashamed for being a spineless sellout for these big studios. By trying to deceive the masses of the actual quality of these products, you have sacrificed your dignity on the altar of the monetary. In order for you to reclaim your dignity, you must stand up for real film criticism and state your honest opinions about these movies and TV shows. And finally, a message to common moviegoers. In coming years, studios will most likely continue to buy fake positive reviews from sellout journalists and try to silence your opinion. Stand your ground. Stand up for your opinion. Heck, if you love the movies and TV shows I mentioned in this video, I think that's great. But do not let the studios and sellout journalists control your mind. They will try to deceive you with fake positive reviews. They will try to silence you by deleting your comments, dislikes, and reviews. And they will try to label you a bigot if you don't like their content. But again, I say, stand your ground. And when it's all said and done, if calling you names really is their endgame, that will show just how pathetic they all actually are.